I have to brag just for a little bit. I normally don't do a video just to brag, but I had basically a perfect bullet game, which is unusual. Here's a screenshot from the app which shows that I had a 90.6% accuracy and only one inaccuracy in the entire game. But when I ran the game review in my browser, it said I had a 95% accuracy score or cap score. And if I scroll that down just a little bit, 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, and 0 blunders. So I'm just going to run through the game really quick. Now, it helped a little bit that my opponent opened with the Vent Crucis opening, or however you say that. Is that a Dutch name? And I admit I already had my finger on the tablet ready to play the Caro-Kann, so that's what I played, which isn't horrible. But then they continued to play what looked like some strange version of the Hippo. I went ahead and took the full center. They put their knights in the middle, as you normally do with the Hippo defense. The only difference is usually the Hippo starts out with fianchettoing both bishops. So I wasn't sure what they were doing. I just decided to play as principled as I can. Now I've left the clocks on the screen to show that my opponent was playing very quickly, but I was responding fairly quickly too. And already I have an advantage. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. All right, we have added the progress or the evaluation bar on the left. Okay, so since they decided to play this strange version of the Hippo where they just moved 2 pawns and a couple of knights, I began going here. And I actually made a mistake with this knight. I probably should have brought the bishop first, but I blocked it. So I tried to correct that. Right here is had lines on there from when I first looked at it. Right here, the computer wanted me to play either a5 or f5. Taking more space, I guess the a5 pawn would have been defended by both the queen and the rook. And of course, the f5 pawn would have been defended by both the knight and the rook over here. And taking even more space, more control of the center. But what I did here, this is the move that the app counted as my only inaccuracy. My idea here was to get it out of the way of the bishop to correct my mistake from earlier and then put it back. But my opponent didn't help by doing that, so I did get the bishop out. I blocked that pawn. And then I decided to just start going for it. There they decided to trade, so we got this trade. And I wasn't sure here if this was best, but it turns out that it was. That turned out to be a huge mistake. The idea, of course, was to get me to take so that they could come down here with their queen and have their queen right here. It turns out that that's not actually that dangerous because they don't have any other pieces involved in the attack. They can't check me from there, not safely, because my bishop and pawn are guarding this square. And they can't get any closer because my king is guarding these squares. But you can't see the engine evaluation, but it says I would have still had a -3 had I just taken here. But even better is what I did, which was realize that's not doing anything to me right now, and take over there. It gives me a almost 5, -4 point. Oh, now it is -5, and now they're supposed to take here and just sacrifice that bishop. Stockfish has said you've already given up that bishop. You might as well completely give it up, but instead they pulled it back. The idea, of course, is to threaten my queen, but it's not a problem because I have this extra pawn hanging around. And the pawns are more than happy to jump in front of royalty when need be. And now I'm at -6 lead here. I take that bishop. They didn't take back my bishop. They decided to give up the other one. I strongly considered checking here, and the computer says it is one of my top 2 moves. I made the other top move. The reason that I didn't check there is because I thought, what if they block here? And then I have both my bishop and my queen hanging. But apparently it would have been okay. I could have gone ahead and taken their bishop. If they had taken mine, well, this one then is out of danger, I guess. Also, once my queen is here, I'm threatening something pretty nasty down there. But I took their bishop instead, which was the other of the top 2 moves. And now they're supposed to take back my light-squared bishop here. It's not actually in danger of mate, but I think that's what my opponent was worried about, because, of course, the king can always move out of the way. So my opponent put their queen here to guard against this. The problem with that, of course, is that I still have this dark squared bishop check over here. And when they block it with the pawn, I have this nasty move. It forces their queen to go somewhere. There aren't that many places the queen can go. If the queen goes back here to continue guarding this square, of course I get it with my knight. If it goes here, I get it with my bishop. If it goes all the way back, then it's not guarding that square anymore, which is the whole reason that they moved it up there. They took the bishop, which of course gives up the f2 pawn, which I can take. They move in there, and I'm pretty proud that I saw this. I have been missing forks lately, but I did not miss this one. To my opponent's credit, they did not give up. They kept playing, and I took the queen with check. They made one of their 2 legal moves here, and that's mate. So, yeah, computer says no mistakes, no blunders, no inaccuracies. And I finished with 55 seconds left on the clock in a 2-minute bullet game. So it was nice. It was a relief to have a really good game, even though I'm playing bullet mainly just to increase my speed in rapid, and I don't really care too much about the scores or my rating in bullet games. As you can see, my rating is fairly low, but I was just happy with this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.